save the future, the past must be sacrificed.
In this, the realm of the past, I am king, and you will bow.
Putrefy, rot, spoil, and fester.
The rise phase comes to join.
On the edge of death, my heart races. I am alive.
Welcome to the final episode of SSF Journal. As you might have seen in the previous episode, the build is not really great in terms of defenses. That's why I've decided to increase the damage a bit more. I'm not going to farm for Awakened Void Manipulation, but I've decided to double corrupt Restless Ward to get +2 level for my X Plus gem. I knew setting up those Alva temples while farming clusters would come in handy at some point. Now I just need to 6-link this, so I will run some Beyond maps to drop Tainted Orb of Fusing. And we have our double corrupted 6-linked Restless Ward. Now as I fix my resist in the background, I will tell you how this episode will go. As I did with the feared fight, I will give you the full fight. Then I will make a quick analysis after the fight ends. So this episode will be a lot longer compared to previous ones. But I will provide timestamps, as I always do, so that you should be able to navigate through the video without much trouble. And after attempting UBERS, I will take a look at what else can be improved in the build. I will only attempt each of the Uber bosses once because I don't like farming T17 maps that much. I won't really go into detail, but I find them boring and overtuned. So if I fail any of these bosses, I won't farm any more fragments, and that will be it. Out of 7 of these Uber bosses, I'm just a bit afraid of Shaper, Maven and Sirus, because after switching to Restless Ward, I'm no longer capped in suppression, my chaos resistance is not capped, and I'm still not ailment immune, so all of these 3 fights will pose a threat for my current build, because they do high degen, they do a lot of spell damage, and on top of that, Sirus applies shock when he uses his beams. But we'll see how it goes. And at the end of the video, I will talk about what's to come next in this channel, what you should expect to see, and we will end the video. So before any further ado, I want to start the Uber fights with my arch nemesis, Searing Exarch. Enjoy!
Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
The appointed class is here. Victory will be ours.
Disintegration. Cleansing. Annihilation. Incineration. The fires of 1,000 suns. You do not have the strength, hatchling.
That may be, but No! I want the Atlas!
Disintegration. Incineration. Cleansing. The fires of 1,000 suns. Is that all you have, hatchling? Annihilation. Disintegration. Cleansing. The fires of a thousand suns. This realm shall be studied by flame. Annihilation. Disintegration. Cleansing. Annihilation. Is that all you have, hatchling? The hatchling surprises.
There isn't really much to say about this fight aside from get good. Don't get hit by the balls or just make a build that can face tank them and you should be fine. Pretty much the only thing you should look out for in this fight are Searing runes on the ground. You can see the debuff on my character. This debuff reduces your maximum fire resistance as well as the recovery speed of your travel skills. And when you're standing above these runes, you won't be able to regenerate life or energy shield. Now these runes almost appear instantly on the ground, and when you combine this with the fire skills of Exarch, they might be a bit hard to see, but once you get used to it, it shouldn't pose too much of a problem. Now the rest of his skills are quite easy to dodge, and in this last death I just got greedy. I should have just dodged this Annihilation instead of trying to burst him down. Overall, the fight went pretty much as I expected it to be. Now let's move on to the Eater of Worlds.
This is not a battle you can win, hatchling. This realm's infinite delights belong to us now. Lightning mass. This realm's infinite delights belong to lightning mass. Lightning mass. Escape from pain.
I made two mistakes in the Eater fight. The first one was miscalculating the area of the hunger beam even after dodging the first one. And the second was dashing into the tentacles, thinking that they had already slammed the ground. Other than that, it was a smooth fight. Now let's move on to the Shaper.
I see you, Nicola. Lock it. Run on. Turn back, trespasser. Seize his madness. order. You force my hand again, little mouse. So be it. You've chosen to side with chaos. This is my world, and you shall obey my order. Insubstantial. Behold the face of your unmaking.
Father, it's me. Let me help you.
The horror must be stopped. Obstacles destroyed. Rest, my imperfect. These memories are mine. I cannot lose them.
They lied to you, Father. I'm your true memory.
To save the future, the past must be sacrificed. Irrelevant!
Okay, the Shaper fight was the best one so far. This might be because I farmed a lot of Shapers during the Affliction League, along with Maven. As long as you properly place the degen grounds and keep an eye on Shaper at all times to dodge his beams and slam, you should be fine. Now let's move on to the Cortex. I never farm Cortex aside from the feared, so I don't know too much about the abilities of each monster. Getting this modifier, monsters take reduced critical strike damage, was a bit unlucky. I guess the first time I died to a slam, and the second time to these double lasers. That's pretty much all I can say for that fight. Now let's move to the Uber Elder.
I may not know
Father, no!
putrefy, rot, small, rest,
This might be the fight that I enjoy the most in the game. It's such a balanced fight, in my opinion. I died to the Shaper Slam. I don't know why, but I couldn't even react to it. And the second time that I died, I got stuck between the Shaper's balls and the Elder's Slam. Well, that sounds a bit wrong when I put it like that. Moving on. Shaper decided to do his Bolt Hell just before he died. That was a bit unlucky. Now, let's move on to the Maven.
The prize phase comes to join. Stand still. Cascade of pain.
My collection is complete.
Do what I say.
Pain will be returned tenfold. Space aligns. Behold my collection.
I will have what I want. This will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. A cascade of pain. Stand still. A cascade of pain.
My collection is complete.
Stand still. Cascade of pain. Do what I say. Why?
Resistance will be punished. Time contorts. Scurry, scurry.
My irritation is growing. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry.
The prettiest piece makes the whole complete.
Stand still. Cascade of pain. Do what I say.
Real.
Stand still. How?
Stop resisting. Reality bends. Punishment inescapable.
Arrogant toy. A cascade of pain.
The prettiest piece.
This will not be an escape.
toy must enjoy our contests, for it continues to play. You and I should do this again soon.
Children are capricious, Nomad. Be warned. The memory of your sting will fade soon enough, and so too will her.
That was quite chaotic. I couldn't place the degen ground and got distracted. Then the nucleus attacked and I died to Cascade of Pain. And I died another time to Cascade of Pain. I can't dodge this properly because I panic whenever it does damage as much as half of my health. I never had to dodge Cascade of Pain so much because when I was farming this in the Affliction, I could simply just tank it. I died to the memory game. I forgot that there was a left. I died to another Cascade of Pain. But this fight was worth it so much because this is my first Progenesis drop. Even though I farmed Maven, just for this item in the Affliction, I couldn't drop it back then, so it was really worth it. Now we have one final Uber boss left, so let's get to the Sirus.
Did you really think this would work?
Sirus, please, we want to help you. Don't do anything hasty.
Destroying you is as easy as flicking a pest.
No! Kirak!
How boring and small. You want the Atlas? Take it. It's yours. But Orient, I will burn to the ground. Perhaps the suffering of my fellow citizens will finally stir some.
You are nothing. Creation itself.
What's this? A real challenge. You'll finally caught
Why run?
utterly annihilate. You are nothing. Obliteration. Creation itself.
Guilty of your efforts.
Your lives are meaningless. Glorious waves. Rain of stars. Creation itself. Pointless.
I am
Beyond, there is only horror. Everlasting fire.
You will long for
Non-existence. Everlasting fire. Beyond.
Wow, that was quite hard to watch while editing the video. I'm not gonna say much about this fight. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything or give advice after playing like that. But when you die once in the Sirus fight, it gets really messy. The arena itself starts filling up with degens and storms. Aside from a few blatant mistakes, like walking into the storm and failing to dodge die beam, I mostly died to the degen grounds. And I failed the fight. But as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not going to farm another set. But I'm quite happy that I could take down 6 out of 7 Uber bosses in an SSF environment. And I know that I can keep farming fragments, I can keep improving the build, but I feel like I've reached my goal, because the whole point of this series was to see if I could take down Ubers in SSF. And I did so, excluding the Sirus. That was a bit of a skill issue, to be honest. And it's always a good thing to stop whenever you reach your goal in Path of Exile, because there's no limit. You can min-max a build as long as you want, even for that 1% damage or defense. That's what I love about the game. But I'm just going to stop here. So now let's check the gear and see what I would do if I kept playing. So I want to show you all of these upgrades on the path of building. I thought it will be better to do so. Now this was the build that I took on the UBERS. As you can see, I have 3 million damage per mine. And the configuration page is pretty much close to the in-game. I didn't check anything that I can't inflict or apply. But these wither stacks are a bit high in my opinion. I don't think I'm applying this many wither stacks with the wither totem setup. So I will just reduce this to 8, maybe. As you can see, I had 2.5 million damage while I was doing UBERS. Of course, again, this is per mine. So considering that, and I'm not detonating 10 mines, that's more close to 5. So considering that I'm detonating 5 mines, I had about 12 million. I had about 12 million damage per 5 mines. So that's quite good, because otherwise it will be quite impossible to defeat 6 UBERS with less damage than this. So I'm glad I switched to Restless Ward. Now let's see what I would do if I kept playing the game, and what I would further improve in the build. Now I set up another path of building with the items that I would farm or improve. The first thing that I would go for would be a double grace Watcher's Eye. And even if I couldn't find a double grace one, I will definitely go for the suppression to cap my suppress. The next upgrade would be finding an ancestral vision, and with this I will recraft my boots, as you can see, and I will be ailment immune. And since I'm immune to ailments now, I will definitely pick Shade. And this will solve a huge part of the build's problem, which is damage over time. And also I will change the Brine King into Soul of Arakali, since I'm freeze immune also right now in this setup. I will switch this to Soul of Arakali and take even further less damage over time. As for the offensive upgrades, I will definitely change my Little Pride, because my Little Pride was quite garbage. It only gave me strength in all the nodes. So I will try to farm something like this with double damage on these 2 nodes and strength on another one. And the next offensive upgrade that I will make will be to find a balance of terror. And this will make it a lot easier to apply Withered on the enemies. I will just cast Despair. Now that I have a more reliable version of applying Withered, I just switch this to 15 stacks, and the rest of the configuration is pretty much the same. I forgot to decrease this to 5. And you might ask where this modifier is coming from, and that's from the Perandus Pact. If you remember, I crafted this a few episodes ago. Now, aside from these jewels, I will definitely recraft this wand like this. I will reroll it with Essence of Woe until I hit T1 crit chance, and then I will craft Mind Throwing Speed. Now I will try to go with a shield like this, but I don't know if I can hit spell damage. It's a bit less likely to find it, but I will definitely change the base to find a Harmonic Spirit Shield instead of the Val one. So let's just change this as well to make it a bit more realistic. Let's remove the increased spell damage. Oh, and I don't have life on this. Let me just add that as well. Yep. It will be something like this. Then I wouldn't touch the gloves. I'm pretty much fine with them. Now, as for the amulet. Amulet slot in this build is really important. So I will definitely change my version. And it was this one that I had. I crafted this, if you remember. I will either try to drop an all attribute fractured one, or I will try to fracture it myself, because otherwise getting attributes becomes a pain. It would look like this, but if you really want to get that damage, I will try to go for something like this. And this one has another +1 level to all skill gems, but this will be quite hard to craft. And as far as I know, the way you craft this is you roll it with Orb of Alterations until you hit +1 level to all skill gems. Then you use a Regal Orb to make the item rare and hopefully hit a prefix. Then you craft, can have up to 3 crafted modifiers, prefixes can't be changed, and cannot roll attack modifiers. And when you add remove chaos from the harvest bench, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit +1 chaos, but as I said, this will be a pretty expensive craft, because then you would need to craft prefixes can't be changed since you have both of your +1 level, and reforge or add remove critical from the harvest bench, and it will be really hard to hit that global critical strike multiplier. In this case, you will be losing a lot of attributes. As you can see, I can't use my Immortal Call. You can always decrease the levels of these gems, but I don't really like doing it, and I would really need to decrease their levels. As you can see, I'm missing about 30 strength. So this wouldn't be really realistic. I will just go with something like this. And I will, of course, recraft my belt, since I'm missing some resist now, since I've changed most of the items. I will try to go with something like this and use a Hunter's Exalted Orb on it to hopefully hit increased maximum life or increased cast damage. And I will just use resistance catalyst so that I could get more resist. And finally, I will farm Man Awakened Void Manipulation. This gives another +1 level to supported Chaos Gems. So overall, I would have a 28 level Hex Blast in the end, at the end of all of these upgrades. And my damage was around 2.3 million. So all of these upgrades will net me 2 million damage. And that is a pretty good increase if you ask me. The survivability will be much better, and since the damage is better, taking on UBERS will be much easier. Overall, I really like this build. I'm really glad Ventura put a build together like this. But if you want more damage, and if you're only focusing on bossing, Uber bossing, and Sanctum, I will definitely recommend going with Occultist version. You know, power charge stacking with Ralakesh and Badge of the Brotherhood, with items like that. You will definitely have a lot more damage. But this version is also really good at mapping, since you're freezing everything and your damage is quite high. Also, evasion is quite good while mapping. And since we have a Progenesis now, our survivability is much better. As you can see, without the flask, my chaos resist is still not capped. Actually, I can recraft my medium cluster for that, since it's not really hard to hit these two notables with critical reforge on the harvest bench. So like this, all of my resists will be capped, my damage will be much better, and my survivability against degens will be a lot better thanks to the Soul of Arakali and Lead Shade. Alright, that's pretty much it. And overall, I really enjoyed playing SSF. If you have the time and want to learn more about the game, I will definitely recommend playing SSF. But you need to be a bit patient when you first make the transition from the trade into the SSF, because it feels like you're wasting your time trying to farm a 10 chaos item, because Profane Proxy is what? Like 10 chaos in the trade league. and I farmed around 20 or 25 penance sets to get the item. So you should be a bit patient. But overall, it was a good experience, and I would like to thank you all if you have watched all the videos up until here. I'm really grateful that you spent your time and went through this journey with me. I hope you learned something along the way, or if you didn't, I hope you enjoyed my misery at times. So, thank you. I'm pretty much done with the leak, so I will talk about what's to come next from this channel and what you should expect. But if you don't want to hear me rambling for about 5 to 10 minutes, you can stop watching now. I'd appreciate it if you liked the video, comment down below and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video, and as always, have a good one. So what's to come next in the channel, I haven't really decided yet. I'm pretty much done with the league for now. I will wait for the 3.25. And in the meantime, I'm not really sure if I should check Last Epoch's new cycle or play Elden Ring's DLC. I'm a bit torn between the two. And I played Last Epoch when it was first released a few months back. I played it around 150 hours, I guess. As you know, the game is new and there isn't really much endgame content, so it gets boring quite fast. And now with the new cycle, I think they just added a nemesis system and a pinnacle boss. Other than that, I don't know if they added any new endgame content. I'm not as invested in Last Epoch as I am in Path of Exile, but I really respect the developers of Last Epoch. They have realized their dream that they have set their eyes on many years ago. And the base game is quite fun, but it just needs updates over time. And the competition is always good, because after Last Epoch came out and brought many quality of life updates, Path of Exile started doing the same. They just added a portal keybind to the game in 3.24, and now there are many more quality of life updates to come with 3.25. So even for that, Last Epoch should be in the market. So even just for that, I hope Last Epoch stays in the market and becomes successful in the long run, so that we can experience and play better games. If I play Last Epoch, I would upload something to the channel, but I'm not really sure if you will be interested in Elden Ring. I already beat the game once when it was first released, but now I want to start over for the DLC and play through it. I will definitely put together the quality of life updates that are to come in the 3.25 expansion. I'm just waiting for a few more days for all of them to come out, because I can't really talk over a 30-second video and stretch it to 5 minutes. Of course, I don't have anything against the channels that do it, but I can't do it even if I wanted to. I don't have that kind of ability. I will also cover the patch notes when they come out on the 18th of July. So those are my plans for the future of the channel. I would like to thank you once again for watching this video and watching the series in general. And once more, have a good one.